A BetterHelp ad. Therapy isn't just for times of major challenge. It's a valuable tool for anyone wanting to improve their well-being. It can help you develop healthy coping skills, set boundaries, and support personal growth. BetterHelp makes it easy to get matched online with a fully licensed therapist right from your phone. No commuting, no waiting rooms. And you can switch therapists at any time. Sign up at BetterHelp.com and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com.
What's your favorite podcast, or
That One Nation.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, that's on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit and talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here we have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
nothing much. W's back. And I'm happy seeing a lot of good basketball being played. You know, I love this game. I love this sport. And, you know, Caitlin's back. You know.
Yeah. But let's get to the reason why, but let's get to the real reason why we're actually here. We are now an hour and 57 minutes away from the drop of Drake Iceman. This is the only reason why we're doing this podcast. Rich didn't know this. I decided to spring this joke on him just so he can make a face. So I got you. So Rich, could you imagine a 2-hour countdown podcast for One Nation Radio for Drake Iceman? Oh man. Yeah. So, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I guess we'll talk about that next week. But, Rich, where does the Drake Iceman fit on your most highly anticipated albums of 2026?
I guess towards the top, maybe. Like, you know, I didn't listen to the leaks that everybody was talking about. Everybody's talking about, you know, it was the victim rap, and I heard, you know, a couple lines. I don't think any of them are actually going to end, because they're timestamps. I don't think any of them are actually going to end up on the thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, the thing is, like, the nigga already released the album last year, so it ain't like, you know, where he said, I thought he was trying to get the party lit, right, James.
Fuck him, even trying to get the party lit. And then, you know, last night, it's a whole lot of, you know, LeBron backstabbed me, Kendrick, you're short still, a lot of that.
That ain't never gonna change. So, yeah. he can hit that one forever. But,
I mean, he hit it, look, hopefully.
Did he have anything where he was talking about suing or anything? No, or
didn't happen to mention that.
Okay.
Didn't happen to mention that. He did get off a line talking about how he had a, like, I did not see that coming joke, right? He did a Nazi joke. And you know, talking about people that want to see him on top. And I was like, bro, you think these niggas care that you Jewish?
The Jewish roots? You know, and the fair skin and the Jewish roots?
Yeah, he hit that.
That's what it is?
Yeah. I was like, I don't quite think that's it, but you know,
victim.
You got a victim complex, you know.
You just easily slide that in there. It's almost all applicable, you know.
Yeah.
You know, this man has taken the Jerry Heller strategy in the past.
I was leaving that alone. I was leaving that alone. But yes.
Yeah, but like I said, W's back. Basketball's heating up for me, at least. And yeah, man, I guess we should probably start with the Los Angeles Lakers being put on summer vacation.
Yeah, Lakers got eliminated. They got swept. The fourth game actually ended up being a competitive game. Like, I want to say the games in LA, they were competitive for a half. Though game 3 was competitive until half, then they blew the doors off in like the third quarter. And then game 4, it was competitive throughout the end. They just happened to not be able to deal with the size disadvantage or advantage that OKC had with Hartenstein and Chet, because they were doing a lot of like short roll to Hartenstein because they were throwing zone at them, and OKC still struggles with zone. So they were putting Hartenstein in the middle, and then from there he's like, able to dish lobs up to Chet. So at the dunker spot. So at the end, that basically ended them.
When you got the kind of personnel the Lakers do sprinkled throughout the roster, zone kind of makes sense.
The white guys. I mean, they don't. I mean, look, Alex Caruso had no problem playing man-to-man defense.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah, man. I mean, it was just it was one of those things that was surprising to see how, even at this stage of the game, ultimately at the end of it, having to play every other game, you just saw LeBron you start seeing him get creakier and creakier throughout the series, where it's like, oh, he's losing his handle. Oh, he's losing his handle. Oh, he can't hold on to the ball. Oh, he's like missing layups right at the rim. He can get to the rim, but he's missing layups. It reminded me of like when T.O. got cut by the Seahawks, where it's like, oh, he can still get open, but he can't catch the ball. It made me think of that joke. But like, in all honesty, like the main thing was just like to see how it came down to late game execution and how LeBron and Reeves could still keep it close. Reeves didn't play well in game 3. Or whatever game it was where he cussed out the ref. I think it was game 2, actually. Game 2.
I think it was 2.
Yeah. He didn't play well until game 3. And then 4 he played better. But, like, ultimately, the thing that's surprising to me is how they were able to keep it close. And, like, if Luka was there, it makes you wonder if they could. I think it could have been a 6-game series if Luka had been there. Because Luka would have got them over the hump in certain instances or whatever else. They would have got their doors flat out blown out off in that way. Ultimately, looking at the makeup of the West, it's going to be okay. It's going to be Thunder Spurs for a long time. Or for like half a decade, it seems. So,
I'm just disappointed, in the King. I said before the playoffs, I thought we was going to the finals, you know. It was just, he did in the East, so I figured, it's just on my back, boys.
Yeah.
Just disappointed. I put my faith in him,
Yeah, you definitely done that.
Drop the beef,
right.
And he let me down. So yeah. I guess I got to keep it going now.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, got my annual, got to send a song out, to the chat, and
you put it in chat already?
Yeah, you go back and see it.
Okay. So, as far as a real your thought on the season and the future, what are your real thoughts on the future?
Why do I get the feeling LeBron's not going anywhere? And when I say not going anywhere, I don't even think he's leaving the Lakers.
I don't think he's retiring.
Oh no, I think he's going to play 25 years now.
That's kind of the thing. Like, if you're going to play 24, you may as well play 25. I would honestly say if I was the Lakers, I would just say, look,
it's been real.
We can't let you play 25 years because you're holding up the Luka run. Like, granted, it don't really matter what the fuck they do with Luka because they got Wembanyama on one side. You got like 1 million draft picks stashed around Chet and Shea. There's not going to be any winning done by the Lakers any fucking way. But you still need to be like, hey, we tried to actually go forward with this Luka.
We're gonna get Luka some help.
Huh?
We're gonna get Luka some help. All these people that want to get traded. All these people that's coming up on, free agents. And
have you seen this free agency class?
It's not good. LeBron's the biggest free agent.
Yeah. Austin Reeves like a top 5 free agent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's coming back.
He's reaching unrestricted free agency. What I'm saying is he's a top free agent. He's a top 5 free agent in this class. It's not a strong class at all. And honestly, if you watch Austin Reeves in this year's playoffs and last year's playoffs, granted this year you want to give him some benefit of the doubt given the injury. He came back with the oblique thing.
Yep.
He has questions to answer on whether or not he's somebody you want to pay that money to actually be somebody to be in the playoffs, even if he's a second guy. We saw him be a second guy here. We saw him be a bit of a secondary ball handler last year. So, yeah, it's or actually he was third last year. But either way, it's like you got Luka, you got to build around Luka, and it's a similar thing to like why I imagine they let Jalen Brunson go. It's like, are we really gonna win when we have Jalen Brunson and Luka? Are we really gonna win when we have Austin Reeves and Luka? Like there's 2 people to pick on. Look at what happened with the Knicks. The reason why the Knicks have their fatal flaws because there's Brunson or Towns to pick on all the time.
Look, I'm seeing what's up with a sign and trade with Milwaukee. What they want to live like. Do you want a white NBA All-Star caliber player in Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Or get nothing from Giannis who wants to go?
I think that there will be better packages than because they don't even have draft picks. It'd be one thing if you had a war chest of draft picks. You can get it done with draft. Be like, oh yeah, you sign Reeves, trade him, and then you send him like 4 first-round draft picks or 3 first-round draft picks. They ain't even got that.
I think they got one. They got the 29. I think
there will be people that will give more than that for Giannis.
They'll figure it out. Trusting Rob.
I don't know how you trust Rob given what Rob's done since he's had the job, but okay.
Look, people tell me, a championship team was built, by Rob. So, And
it was also he also let it get dismantled a year later because of one injury. LeBron turns his ankle and they say, let's blow it up. Stand on your square. You don't even want LeBron there. Don't let him bully you and they can trade for Russell Westbrook.
Couldn't do it. PR.
You know what's funny? The LeBron section, the LeBron stands, they act like LeBron's hands ain't got no dirt on it for that trade. He absolutely asked for that trade. Look, the big Rich, I've talked to you for years about this. LeBron has wanted a secondary ball handler for like a decade. From that up to that point, because that was like 2000.
It's like he want one, but he don't really want one.
He had wanted one since. That's the reason. Like ever since basically like leaving Miami, he wanted one, and that's why when Kyrie left, he signed the league because like I'm handling all by myself. So yeah, it's and then you see like when he has Caruso or he has Reeves, all the screening he does for these niggas because they can shoot. If you can't shoot, he's like, well, what's the point of even screening for you? You clogging up my bullshit. You clogging the shit I'm trying to accomplish.
I thought the man with the highest basketball IQ would have seen the Russell Westbrook like experience at that point. Like that ain't Russ's game.
You know what's funny? He recognized that when he was guarding him in the bubble when he was letting that nigga shoot. He sagged off of him. I think he made. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he went far.
Desperation. Desperation to make niggas do wild things.
I don't know if it was he even went far enough to be disrespectful where he like did the fuck out of here because he done it to a few people where it's like
the Caitlyn.
Like yeah, well actually it's LeBron, but LeBron's the first thing I ever seen do that shit where it's like yeah, just, whatever. But yeah, like he was doing that. He may have done that Westbrook. If not, he was flat out guarding him like that's how he felt and. Then 2 years later he wants him on the team.
Incredible.
It's terrible idea. Terrible idea. And yeah, like it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes. Because like if I was the Lakers, I'd let LeBron. I'd be like, I'm not signing LeBron to this because if he look, we're not going to win with or without him in this conference situation. So we let him go or whatever else. He can go to Cleveland or he can go to the Knicks or there's one other team he could go to that it would be hilarious. But yeah,
like what Drake was talking about, you know, he's some shit like you in the arena or you made a whole career out of switching your teams up or something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's funny. You know, Durant's been on more teams in less time.
He wasn't in the arena.
I'm not supposed to acknowledge the part where it's like, oh, you're best friends with KD, who's been on more teams. But yeah, like, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Lakers.
Boy Durant is an all-time rainbow jersey having ass nigga.
Well, he avoided the rainbow because he played on the Nets and they only black and white.
Now look, they got Seattle alternates that existed when he was there.
Well,
that's yellow.
Like, okay, where are you gonna get the blue from? Or hold on, not blue. What color?
Oh, the Nets.
Hold on. There's no wait. Hold on. Let's see.
The powder blue.
Red.
They got an alt Nets red throwback.
A white and red.
The New Jersey Nets, like, right before they moved, they had red.
Like the Vince Carters.
Yes.
I don't think they ever wore that though.
Maybe.
Okay, so
Ethan Saber Jr. $4.99. I think Hachimura and Hayes are way better than they're given credit for, and Kennard and Smart were mid after the Rocket series. Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
I
do want to say something about like Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. Like, I've grown to really like be fond of them over the past 5 years. Like, I remember, their breakout game. It was against Memphis. It was that game one of the Memphis series, and it was like them two like really kind of leading the charge. Like, AR was doing what he wanted. That's like when I kind of made up that phrase. And Rui Hachimura was just like a mid-tier draft pick that was on a bad team, and then eventually came to the Lakers. And niggas was trying to get both of them niggas traded forever, just cause, and they've been thugging it out. So like. Yeah. For me, you gotta like look at them like 5-year Laker guys where like that are mid-level guys like a Rick Fox. I know they weren't around winning titles or anything, like a Nick Van Exel, like a Cedric Ceballos, something like that. So
especially Reeves, Rui. The thing with Rui is he's having his best year.
Yeah.
And the thing, on top of that is like when he first got many the instant impact guy, like they thought he was going to be somebody that was going to be like a rotation player, and then turn out, oh no, he's a starter.
Yeah.
And then this year, like he was on like the shooting streak of a lifetime, like for like the last month and a half or something like that. So he was shooting like damn near 50% from three for like a month and a half. So yeah, two guys are going to get paid this offseason. And they're two guys, if I were the Lakers, I mean, I would keep Rui for sure. Reeves is where it's like, I have to have a conversation of like, I need to get in a bidding war or whatever else. I'm not finna pay him max money. Like, regardless of LeBron stays or leaves, like,
if he's going somewhere, like, he's got to fetch a sign and trade. Like, yo, we gave you a shot, give us a shot and help us out on your way out.
Well, to be fair, he gave him a discount last time too.
He did.
But yeah, I mean, either way, like these are two success
stories. I want him back, but we'll see how. I want him back first choice, but if it doesn't happen, there's
no reason why. There's no reason not to do that unless you're one of these like Lakers fans that is like championship or nothing, and I don't think it's realistic in this particular setup of the NBA with what conference they're in.
I will say that the clock, like whenever LeBron is out the door, that's when the clock starts for Luka.
Yeah. And if I were them, that's the reason why I'm saying that they need to get through this now, because the later they wait, like given that Luka keeps getting calf injuries. Did you read that article I sent you from the Ringer today?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing, no.
So basically, like, hamstring and calf injuries have skyrocketed over the last 15 years of NBA relative to, like, either other lower body leg injuries. And Kurt Goldsberry, who used to do Grantland with Bill Simmons, also now at Ringer with Bill Simmons, they used to do the charts, right?
Yeah.
Also used to work for the Spurs. He started talking to biomechanic people and sports medicine people, and like the thought is, well, because of like basically all of this 3-step gather shit that Harden ushered into the league, like instead of people playing off 2 feet, people are playing off 1 feet. So like all the Euro steps and all of like the high like bringing the ball over, like, you know, Dwayne Wade and Donovan Mitchell shit that's going on, and all of like the deceleration, like drag your back pivot, your third or your back pivot foot, or sorry, your third leg and drag it, and you don't call it a trowel for whatever reason. Like all of that is so much force on one leg now that like it's making tendons and muscles hot or whatever else. And so,
sound like Silver's League.
He's stupid. So, and I saw this, I want to say earlier in the year, I can't remember what YouTube channel it was, talking about how like you look at NBA basketball and how like, you know, there's less plays at the rim as far as like dunks or whatever else. It's more of this like deceleration Luka shit, because it's like people are playing off 1 foot. It's more of a, instead of a launch, you know, you get to the restricted lane and you launch, and it's almost like you launching off the trampoline. It's a lot of one leg stuff now because we let people travel basically. Mm-hmm. And that's a part of it. And we're talking about like, yeah, like based on a person that hasn't really, you know, had these injuries like they were tracking step back threes or whatever else, I think. And like the only person that's like super high in step back threes that hasn't had like a bunch of calf strains or hamstring injuries is like Harden. Even Harden had one, but he only had one. Everybody else has multiples or they tear their shit. So
what about Curry?
Curry had a hamstring thing.
Year. Last year.
Yeah, last year in the playoffs or playing.
Okay,
or
yeah.
Yeah, it finally caught up to him.
Yep.
But you gotta keep in mind, like Steph doesn't, his step back isn't as egregious as like Harden's or Luka's, or, you know, that whole gather, get into your shot pocket, but instead of taking a step back, you actually step to the side to get a clean look at the rim. Like it's, you know, 15 years ago, that's a travel everywhere. Now we just let this shit slide because, you know, they have Harden has basically studied the plate or the what do you call it? He has studied the rule book and was like you know, you get
time
2 steps
to exploit.
He has legalized this. He has legal. You know, he has legally maneuvered this shit to where it's like, well, I haven't gathered yet officially, so that's how you get all this stuff with 3 steps now. It is just people just let 3 steps go. So, like it's.
Look, maybe we should have sounded like old white men and started complaining about traveling. Maybe.
Well, you saw. Well, my thing was, I get it, but I'll say this: like, if you playing pickup, I'm not allowed. No, we're running. That's coming. That's a turnover. There is no. That's the thing about it when it comes to like all this stuff. Is like, bro, like, if we're playing pickup, are we allowing this? The answer is no. Then it should be a fucking travel in NBA. It should be that simple. Like at first it was like, all right, well, we kind of, you know, because people, you know, talk about the hand check shit. It's kind of like people hand check still all the time. They let the shit slide, but like you let the offensive player do all this shit to offset the part where people do hand checks again, so it's fine. Mm-hmm. But now we had these rising injuries. Maybe we should take the hand check back out again and tell these niggas stop traveling. So, but anyway,
what about Big Vic and the Spurs? Like, I mean, I don't really think there's anything to say about the Thunder. I just hope the niggas fall. Like I don't rock with none of that Thunder shit, dog. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, all that flopping and like not actually balling. Like when it's time to ball. What else?
Well, he balled in Game 4.
Who else? That football player Lou Dort, playing the wrong sport. If that man, like, you know, if he wasn't Canadian, you know, he'd be playing another sport. Yeah. What else?
I will say
Jalen Williams, they don't even need him, or J Dub, they don't even need him on the roster whatsoever. They just pulling niggas off the bench like a 6-man, like niggas you've never heard of. Like,
no. Here's the thing though, I've heard of them because like they've been rolling these niggas out the last 2 years. like AJ Mitchell is a second-year player, but like, bro, I've been saying to you all year, like, bro, they have more backcourt depth than like any nigga since like the 60s, it seems like. Like you gotta go to like the 60s Celtics to find more guard depth than these niggas. Like they go 6 deep at least. And then they added Jared McCain.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Thanks, Maury. They fired his ass.
Yeah. Throw him out like Jazzy Jeff. And it's in Philadelphia. Yeah. I don't rock with him. Wemby don't fuck with Chet. Who else on that roster? I like Caruso. That's about it.
I like pretty much all the guys except for really Dort, honestly, because Dort be doing too much, and then he didn't want to act like he ain't doing shit.
$10 super chat from my man Rambo Slam Pig. He said, no need to get to this now, but here we are. If you have hip hop talk at any point, we'd love to hear if you have any thoughts about New Jabes as a producer, or if you give your thoughts on jazz/lo-fi hip hop. I don't know who that is.
I ain't got nothing for you on that. Look, I kind of checked out on rap pretty much in 2014, and like basically from there,
you got to hit the.
Oh yeah, fuck rap. Yeah, James Boyd's notorious hater of hip hop. No, like it's just. I just felt like it moved. The sound shifted in a way that I didn't like, and I wasn't inspired really by any of the guys that was like going at that point in time. That were dropping. Like, I mean, when YG became the star that he became, and I'm like, bro, like, look, I understand he can make some hit records, whatever else, and like, it's not like he's a terrible rapper, but he's not a great rapper either. And like that shit got so much buzz, or that shit kind of was a big deal that year. And I was like, nothing else really is moving me. And I was like, you know what? I kind of just. And then Drake was at the top. And then what year did what's called come out? Pimp Butterfly.
2015.
15. Okay, so I was a year away from that coming out, and then when that came out, I was disappointed. And if that had blew me away the way I thought it would have, the way I expected, then like I would have probably still been in. But that was like my last thing. I was like, eh. So basically, it's like I check for whatever I check for, but like it's not like I'm on the pulse of whatever's going on outside of like whatever hits, whatever hit rings off from time to time.
As far as like lo-fi hip hop and jazz, like not really my thing. I've dabbled in it a little bit.
You made it sound like it's a drug.
I've dabbled in it. You make like Early Morning Dream, for example, you could probably say it's like lo-fi or whatever, right? It's an energy thing. It's like sometimes you're in the mood for it, sometimes you're not. I would say when it comes to like jazz rap, like that's like Tribe Called Quest and stuff like that. That's that really moves me.
Right, but I mean, I get. How do I say this? It's my. Lo-fi doesn't move me, but like if you give me melody in it, and like like Tribe had melody, so like I give that. I kind of maybe I'm erroneously like separating that from what I think of lo-fi, but yeah.
Rambo also says, speaking to Drake, can you explain why he wants more smoke from Kendrick? Is it a machoism thing? Well, it's because people around him are lying to him.
Masochism.
Oh, my fault. It's because people around him and his fans are lying to him. They're telling him he really won and like all that, but there's nobody to keep it real with him and be like, and he knows deep down. I mean, he got bent over the knee. He knows.
Oh yeah, he's rapping like Jay-Z on Blueprint 2.
Yeah.
Like he knows he lost and he's bitter about the loss. But the thing is, like Jay-Z let that like the year after it happened and moved on. We are 2 years removed past this. We're at a time where the music pace, speed of things moves even faster. Why are you still bringing this up? Why are you still bitter about this? Like you literally a year ago said you trying to get a party lit. You off this, and now you back to this. It's like the real thing is like, hey, do you have anything else like compelling to talk about? Because that's what it seems like. Like it seems like he has nothing else to talk about. Because what did I miss is kind of like fake friends, and now it's still more of the same thing. Like I got fake friends still. It's like, bro, it's been a year of this.
So like that bell is tolling, like. So look, he better hope.
And then the second track he released last night, I think it was called 3 a.m. in New Orleans. he has a line saying that, like, y'all are my sons and I'm the solar system or something like that. And I was like, that's not how solar systems work. There's one sun in a solar system. Because of the gravitational force of that sun. I was like, all right, brother. All right. Like, you ain't even get people to like listen to your shit before you put it out. And then, you know, it's also that you know, it got leaked. It got leaked. So
are we all hoping that the Timberwolves just bow out gracefully so we can hurry up and get to this Western Conference Finals?
If they lose, no, I want to, like, look, I enjoy this series. It's just that outside of them reverting to prison ball, they have not been competitive. Like, if they're not allowed to foul them, they get blown out.
Rudy Gobert.
Gobert's played...
Big Rudy.
Gobert has played well in this series up until the last game, where Wembanyama basically said, I'm going to isolate him at the top of the key, and he just couldn't guard him. And other times during the series when, like, Wembanyama tried to isolate him at the top of the key, Rudy's played pretty well with the stuff, but this time it just was not working. Yeah. So... Wembanyama scored 16 points in 6 minutes, and I called you like, hey man, whatever the fuck you doing, you need to tune in. Because he had 16 points and 5 rebounds, and he just sat down. There's like 6 minutes left in the first quarter. What the fuck's going on? I was like, look, bro, anything is possible.
I was like, I thought you said 60 at first, and I was like, what? Like, wait, yeah, then you said 16.
Man,
so
it was incredible.
Yeah, man. The Spurs, like, it don't like, all right. If you are a historic all-time great player, this is about the time where you're taking a step forward and going up, you know, at claiming something in the league, whether it's a major award, whether it's, you know, a finals appearance, whether it's like even a championship. And Victor, like, the Spurs have like stealth tanked this shit out to a way with being fortunate with laying Victor down his rookie year where he only plays 40 games.
I wouldn't say stealth. Everyone knew.
Yeah. Like, and they built it, and they've got like at least 4 guys, and then they got other dudes just catching fire left and right. Like, that Champagne guy is coming out here and just like, yeah, I'm just hotter than the sun, and I'm just gonna, like, you know, hit any 3 I want. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's the thing though, like, because when Wembanyama like caused so much problems on a roll that like he created so much attention, that like people like Champagne and Devin Vassell, like, they're good shooters, and they're on a team with they're gonna have open shots, so like their their 3-point percentage is like probably higher than it actually would be on another team, but yeah, it's just like the main thing is like they have Wembanyama, they have 2 quality shooters, and then they have the 2 guys like the 2 young future stars. And well, actually, I mean, Cass is already an all-star, but like Dylan Harper's going to be an all-star too, and like
they just got to find a way to eventually get rid of De'Aaron Fox.
bro. De'Aaron Fox has been bad in this series. Like, unless he's stapled to Wembanyama's minutes, like, it's a mess. It's a mess at times. Yeah. And like I thought,
career king, nah.
And during the regular season, it looked like they needed him because he was playing really well when he played, because he came in late with an injury, and then you know, like, Dylan Harper was a rookie. And now it's a postseason, and like Dylan Harper's out here giving off like, I ain't gonna say it, it'll piss you off, but he's doing bro, do you see the play he did when he did in and out behind the back to the dunk?
Yes.
Who that remind you of? I'm not saying he's gonna be that, but who else was that young doing that kind of shit in the playoffs?
Said in and out and then a dunk. Just say it.
That was some 01 Kobe shit, bro. It was. I'm not saying he's gonna be Kobe, but I was like, bro, I ain't never seen no nigga that young in the playoffs do no shit like that.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And then, like, yeah, man, like,
I rock with the ethos of the Spurs. That's more in line with what I feel like the league should represent. Whatever Silver's league is, that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. Man, that shit is something else. Can't really roll with that. So do you want to watch free throws all game long?
They don't take free throws all game long. The problem is that this nigga...
You want to be able to guard these niggas at all?
The problem is that you have Shea out here embellishing like crazy at times, and then you get to see what Caruso and Cason Wallace and Dort are able to get away with on defense, and then when it comes to offense, you get Chet and you get Shea out here doing these wild flops, and you're like...
It ain't honorable.
It's not the same. You can't have it one way or the other, refs. I don't know how you see this stuff on one end and let it shit slide, but then on the other end, you get to see Shea go out here hit niggas with the, with the forearm and shit. What was it? The bull hammer? Yeah.
The bull hammer.
What was your boy's name?
Wade Barrett.
The Wade Barrett bull hammer on offense to get separation, and that's cool. But then all of a sudden it's all of this. And I will say this, for you to say it like the ethical way, hey man, I would agree with you up until this series. Stephen Castle started to do a whole bunch of, my head and all of that shit. To be fair.
He got the hair, so he's trying to that's the
Jalen Brunson.
I was gonna say that's traditional Spur, that's straight out the Ginobili playbook back when he had the hair.
Good point.
All the hair, that's a Spurian passed down through generations.
That's true, but I'm saying in recent times, the person that does that the most, Jalen Brunson with his double twist.
Yeah.
All of this all the time. It's like, hey man, you already small already. They want to give you every benefit of the doubt with every single call. And then you also want to snap your head back left and right. All right, man. So, but yeah, man, I really enjoyed the Spurs, watching them, and I enjoy watching what Wembanyama's already doing, as a defensive communicator, and he's already doing a lot of that, KG, LeBron James, low man, genius shit, whereas, he's directing the traffic, he's making sure to, regardless of whatever action y'all try to put me out to pull me away from the paint, I'm making sure that I get my ass back to the low man. It's really interesting watching him. You can watch him the whole game. Watch him on defense and offense in a way that, I haven't really been able to watch any other guy do that except for, prime LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man, he's something else. And if he makes threes, if he makes 3 threes in a game, I don't see how the Spurs ever lose that game.
Yeah, I really hope they win. I just want to see it.
It's gonna be fun. It might be the best playoff series since 2018 West Conference Finals.
Yeah. What else do we have? Anything in the East worth a damn? Really? The Sixers got sent home.
Sixers got swept because Embiid health can't hold up, and Maxey can play one way.
I thought they had something.
A lot of the De'Aaron Fox stuff. It's a lot of that with Maxey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Harden has Jim Harden hung around enough to where he done had all his bad games, and it's he can just play regular now. It's he got the bad games out the way.
Nah, because he had 30 and 8 and 6 something like that last night, but it's he shot I think he shot 8 for 21 or something like that. Shit. So they won the game, and he didn't play terribly. I think, but he didn't play great either. But they got the 3-1 lead. Or whatever else, he saved them in game 3.
Man, Cavs out here winning rounds in the playoffs, multiple.
They kind of owed after they choked out last year, losing to the Pacers.
Yeah,
because they won 60-some games last year. Remember that?
They were good last year during the season.
I remember there was one game at post All-Star break when they beat the Celtics, and it was they might actually be a real deal, one of the 4 teams that could win the title, and then they got bounced around one, and I looked like an asshole. So
it's tough.
Yeah, if I were the Knicks, I'd rather play Pistons a lot. I'd much rather play the Pistons.
Yeah.
Because the Cavs.
Are you sure though? Are you sure about that? If you're the Knicks, because like they're gonna try to rough you up, like, and you might be susceptible to it.
They beat them last year in the playoffs.
That's true.
They beat them last year in the playoffs. This team has a more sophisticated offense, and also the Knicks have more depth now because it's not Thibodeau running the same 6 guys or 7 guys to the ground. It's actually Mike Brown who actually plays with pace and plays with extra players to make sure people are fresh.
That's
in offense, and also like
that's
they figured out the Anthony Towns thing.
It's amazing how far Mike Brown has come throughout his career. Before he was just this no offense coach or whatever. This nigga's coached everybody at this point.
Seemingly. He became an offensive coach because all I did was like, hey, we're basically just going to run up the floor. Like, we're going to be like the 2013 Nuggets. We're going to be like a UNC team. We're just going to just run secondary break and run and zip by people that score, against, unset defenses. And then they got to the playoffs and they lost. And then they're like, oh, yeah. They at some point, like, Draymond Green said, you know what? We're not even going to guard Domantas Sabonis out to 12 feet. And then they short-circuited. But yeah, like, he understands. He understands the job and is more trusting of his players than Tibbs was. So yeah.
Well, that's NBA. WNBA is back.
Yeah,
and it's been a eventful first week or so.
Twitter sucked.
Oh man, it's been insane. Like just full outworld stuff. Like I thought some of the GM survey stuff was kind of nonsense, but man. It turns out, James, that the games can be played and people will see what happens in them and completely disregard it.
Yeah. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about the George Foster tweet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was really bad.
Now, granted, George is
dunking on him left and right.
Now, granted, George is offensive lineman. He's good at football analysis thing. He's good at most things,
CTE.
Music too. But hey, man, like, look,
CTE.
I've never heard him talk about W ever before until today or yesterday or whatever that was, and I was like, yep, yeah, that don't make man,
not a lick.
That don't. I don't think you know enough about the WNBA to be making that to say that like you think Caitlin Carr is physically not strong enough to get to whatever spot she wants to is like, well. Unless she got somehow weaker over the last 2 years, she got pretty much every spot she wanted to before. And even then, like, we've seen plenty of people that aren't strong get to whatever spot they wanted to in the league. I.e., Steph Curry that weighs 170 pounds. So,
and like
that's not a thing.
And the thing,
or that's not as big a thing as he's made it out to be.
Caitlin's realizing she's actually bigger than a lot of the guards, and it's like a light bulb went off, and she's like, "Oh, I can be a bully!" Like, and that's like what it's kind of felt like as the jumper hasn't like fallen immediately this year.
Why do you think her jumper's been bad the last 2 years?
I don't know. Like, last year, I know it was the injury, a lot of the lower body injuries. She didn't have her legs, she says. Mm-hmm. This year, she's not hurt or anything, so she's just back rimming shit, like, right now. So, there is a difference between her catch and shoot threes and, like, her isolation ones. Those are the ones that she's missing.
Awful.
The ISO ones are, she's missing all of those, but, like, she's shooting, like, 43 or 45% on catch and shoots. So, it's like, that's interesting. So
up until like the last decade, we weren't having people shoot off the dribble like that.
Yeah,
that's another James Harden influence on the sport. Like, we just let people dribble the air out the ball and then shoot it, and we're just indiscriminate. It's fine. It's like it's just think of it. A set shot, or not a set shot, but like a shot where like your feet are set and there's less movement of all of your body parts compared to dribble, and you got to pull from the momentum of the dribble up, as opposed to most people catching their pocket and go straight up. Which one do you think is easier?
Yeah,
especially later in games when you're tired. That's just common sense, but you know, three points to the rim is so much. All right, man. All right.
So
that'll happen. That'll happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
People get to 15 feet and fucking pull from the elbow.
A lot of big matchups. League kind of opened with the Wings and the Fever. The Wings got a win on the Fever's home court by, I think, 3. Kind of a wild game. The Wings hit like 11 threes in the first half. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I watched their next game. I believe they hit a grand total of 2. Like,
I mean, people have been freaking out about like the opening weekend with the scores.
Yeah,
they were complaining, and they were complaining about a lot about fouls. It's like, well, they're trying to get these people. They're trying to get the women to defend without fouling. Like, and
it's tough.
And
people, human foul machines is everywhere. Like, Aaliyah Boston fouled out last night in LA. Cam Brink, like, I think caught like 5 fouls inside of like 10 minutes or something. Maybe the first game.
I saw people complain about the length of the games.
Yeah,
these games
I saw that too.
These games are going 2 hours and 2.5 hours, whatever. So I was like,
they used to go 2, but
I mean that ain't just about fouls. That isn't just about the fouls. That's also about
presentation.
That's also about the
networks.
TV. That's about the TV stuff too. You get more commercials put in or longer TV commercials, or whatever. I believe.
Yeah, Kendi Carter's back in the league, killing off the bench. I'm like,
how many points she have?
She dropped 27 off the bench against the Sun. I think she dropped 25 against the Sparks. I'm literally considering going to the Dream game to see Kendi Carter on Sunday. I'm gonna see like what the last minute tickets look like. So,
did you really just say that?
Absolutely, she's incredible.
No. She plays for the Los Angeles or Las Vegas Aces, right?
She does, yes.
You're paying money to go see Kendi Carter, not
absolutely
not Asia Wilson, the greatest women's basketball player of all time. Did I have that right?
No, not her.
Not the woman that won MVP, Finals MVP, won the scoring title, and Defensive Player of the Year last year. No. Okay.
No.
All right.
No, I'm going to see the other CC. You know,
well, that's
Kendi Carter.
You want to see that light skin? I see what it is. All right. The real banana boat. You yellow motherfuckers. I see what it is. Okay. I peeped it. Game.
Big Ken went around the world, went to Saudi Arabia, went to Mexico, proving she should have never, ever had to go all the way out there.
Well, that's absolutely true. That's true. That's true.
All these teams in the league, like every front office should be having things thrown at them to allow her to just moonwalk onto the Las Vegas Aces. That is insane. That's like, yeah, bro, we gonna drop like let's for example, like maybe Latrell Sprewell, right?
Well,
what? I know. Yeah,
okay.
Like just allow him to drop back into the league on the best like team in the league, like, or the most talented loaded team, and with the best coach and the best organization and shit like that, and they're like, we'll fix it. This would have been a Bill Belichick bargain bin special right here.
Yeah.
Oh my
special.
God.
Yeah.
Open box special. That's what Kendi Carter was. I was pissed. I was like, did the Fever at least even fucking call her? Like, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
I mean, if y'all are so upset it's an arms race, given that y'all played each other in the playoffs last year, you know, Fever and Aces, y'all know y'all can make that phone call and bring in Big Liz.
Look, I have also suggested this. They need another big. You know,
my point is, you know, there are some people that just blackballed and they ain't never getting back into the
Oh yeah,
you know that.
Look, I mean, look, most hated anyway. She might as well just get down with the team. What they gonna do? Hate some more? You know.
Man, that Liz Cambridge and Caitlin Clark picture, and then that talk.
Oh my God!
Remember when Liz was calling what word is it? The Nigerian women's team they played, and he called all sorts of crazy shit. Nah, man, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but Caitlin's stats are great right now. Everything but the 3, pretty much, and it's like if she puts this stat line up. That's like something it's like a stat line that's never been done in the history of the league, I'm pretty sure. And like, you moonwalk to like a top 2, 3 MVP candidate, if not outright win, depending on which way the standings end up going. And people are acting like this isn't happening, James. Like, this is like,
we're only 2 games in.
I know.
They freaked out over 1 game.
No, first they freaked out and they said she played terrible on the Saturday game, right?
Yeah.
And they were putting her under the dirt. There was some loudmouth that was like,
she's Linsanity.
Linsanity. I'm like, what the I was like, I don't even like saying we're back in 2024 isn't strong enough. Like, I was like, huh? And then so Caitlyn comes out, smokes the sparks, and she, like, from the second the game starts, like, super aggressive, going to the rim every time, can't be stopped. Threes miss, whatever, ends up with like 24, 4 and 9, whatever. Should have had like 14 assists. People blew cash. Wake up today, I get a comment on one of my videos from somebody. They were like, yo, I liked your video. I was like, when I went on Twitter this morning, you would have never known the Fever even won the game, like the way people was talking on there. And I was like, it's Outworld, bro. I don't know why they acting like this. Like, this is nuts. Like, it's just like, I mean, Aaliyah Boston did nothing.
Caitlyn did do that thing over the weekend too. That pissed a lot of people off. So
she did do that thing where she walked out with Morgan Wallen, and and
I gotta say, wasn't a good look. I wouldn't have done it.
I wouldn't have done it. A lot of people don't even know who Morgan Wallen is.
Like, you remember Jordan? Like Republicans wear shoes too. Like, hey, you might want to. No one's going to be happy when you do this. In this particular league, like only person that could have done that, and they would have been like, oh, whatever, that is what it is with Sophie. And then Sophie found out. I remember I said, I guarantee
she was
Sophie,
there.
I told
she was in the crowd.
Like you were like, Sophie's. I don't know how you know Sophie. They're like, trust me, she's there. And then all of a sudden, you see a picture of her.
No, I said, I was like, she's more likely to go with Lexi rather than be hanging with Sophie. Sophie was there on her own. Like,
yeah, okay. Well, I misunderstood what you said, but I was like, Sophie's definitely there.
Yeah. But
if Sophie wasn't playing the W, she'd be in a CrossFit gym. I'll leave it at that.
She had a photo shoot hit the timeline yesterday as well.
Oh, here's the thing. A lot of people were in that Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, and like there are two people that got the blues, and I don't know why these people are getting the blues other than you just don't like them, because it's not like they're unattractive.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Bro, they was giving Tiffany Haddish the blues. I was like, oh, okay.
Bro, I was like, there's a lot of cap going on right now on the timeline. There's a lot of cap.
Look, you can be disgusted for whatever reason you have for her or whatever else, but like, if you want to say she's ugly, you're lying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not making any comments about how pretty she is or is not. But I'm not saying. But to say she's not pretty, or to say that you find her revolting is like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell scoring a ton of points, doing nothing else. By the way,
those body. What do you call them? I'm sorry, forget the point. I remember the old ESPN Body magazine or whatever else.
Yes.
All those hideous bodies from the W. We've seen those before. Those unappealing WNBA women's bodies. They're so shit. We've seen those before, right? Fuck out of here, lying ass motherfuckers.
Who else? Brianna Stewart got off to a pretty good start to the season.
I'm watching them versus the Fire right now.
She's actually shooting worse from three than Caitlyn, which is wild. Who else?
When does Nafisa come back?
She's on court activities in June, but I think they're going to be kind of like, I think they'll be pretty good without her because Olivia Miles has hit the league like a fucking tidal wave. She's incredible, bro. She's got like
she should have been the first pick, huh?
Absolutely should have been the first pick, especially because Paige don't want to play on ball. So like, we know what happened. We know why they did it. I'll leave it there. But Olivia Miles is like really impressing me. Like just the way she's coming off like these screening rolls, and she is super athletic. I knew she was going to be great from seeing her in college, but like she's somebody that jumps in the league and it's like, oh, there's an athleticism difference from people trying to guard her. Atlanta is an interesting team because like I think things are going right for them, but no one quite knows why yet. And I think people are misdiagnosing what's going on, and they are a defensive unit. That's what I think this thing comes down to. This is a defensive team masquerading itself as an offensive team, and they have Ryan Howard, who is a awesome defender, who has a ridiculous shot selection, right? Alicia Gray, who actually scores, and can engage in some of the floppery, but it's fine. It's not that bad unless you see it game after game. But Angel is there, a defensive menace, an offensive rebounder, the ultimate garbage woman, and like people want her to have offense ran for her for some reason, but like the finishing is really no better than it's like ever been. And she had like that first they did a comeback against the Lynx the first game of the season. They were down 17 in the second half, and they just walked them down possession after possession, and it was like huge defensive stops from Angel, sealed the deal. But Olivia Miles went crazy in that game too. But yeah, they're undefeated. They're going to be playing the Aces Sunday, like I mentioned. So I'm like, man, I might take myself out there. But I think I need some more time to see them, especially they don't have Bree Jones in the lineup. I don't know if bringing Bree Jones in will be helpful or hurtful, because it's like another big. Angel really should be the only big on the floor, I think. They almost have like one too many big bodies. You're muted, James.
Well, I imagine that comes down to matchup, right?
Yeah,
because like you don't want to play the Liberty and have one big out there. You have to deal with John Quill and Brianna.
I mean, everybody's tall on the Liberty. They got 6'6" people have fucking shooting guard out there. Leonie Feebich and shit. Like,
oh yeah,
nuts,
I forgot about
dog.
her. This is year 3 for her, right?
Yeah. But Atlanta's gonna be good defensively for sure. Aces got their ass like killed on ring night.
We ain't concerned.
I don't know what.
I said I'm an Aces fan. I'm an Asian fan. We ain't concerned.
I'm about to say I don't know what the fuck happened, but like the Mercury went in there and was like
belt to ass.
They went belt to ass, and then they was like hamming it up like they actually got something out of this. It was like, nah, the finals was last year. Y'all should have tried that then.
They tried. They tried, and then
what else? They bounced back and they beat a couple sorry teams. They beat the Sparks and the Sun. Marina Mabry's going crazy trying to justify that $1 million contract. I don't know if you've seen. She's scoring like, I think she's leading the league in scoring or some shit.
Toronto?
Yes. Or Kelsey's leading the league in scoring, and Marina's like second or whatever, or some shit like that. Bunch of threes on fire to start the season.
Wins?
Yes. I believe they do have a win.
It's good to see that she's gotten out of hell, because she was out there. She was out there on the Connecticut
Chicago,
run.
Connecticut. Ew. It's like, brother, ew. Like,
yeah,
that
look, get me to an expansion team. I'd rather play for an expansion team than play for a team that was what had the record. What didn't it have the best record 2 years ago?
I don't know.
When Alyssa was still there?
They had like the second best record. Or no, they were the third seed.
Third seed. Okay. Yeah.
But it's been fun, like seeing what's going on. The Wings are pretty entertaining to watch. I was watching them, but look, Paige has this thing, bro. I watched the Wings Dream game.
Hey, Rich, Cheryl Soup's commercial going on right now.
That's part of that 30-year campaign that they're doing for the league or whatever.
Okay.
Paige like did not look at the basket for like 10 minutes of game time.
You told me about that. Yeah.
And I was like, this it's a different thing. Like, there's this thing. I think what happens with her is like everybody says she's efficiency pilled. It's like if she got like 50% like on there, she'll just stop shooting like to preserve the percentage or whatever. And it's like, the first game that she played against the Fever, she was 8 of 10 that game, right? Mm-hmm. It was like, hold on, if you're shooting this good, you're shooting 80% and shit, why aren't you shooting more? Like, it's volume. Like, I don't know if she felt like they didn't need it or whatever, but I was like, she could have scored way more because she was like frying Sophie. And then like it really came back to bite like against the Dream, because she was like, you know, we used to say like Chris Webber, like he wasn't even like interested in looking at the basket. It was like she's like just
the round of the West Conference Finals in 2000.
Yeah. But it's like even less because at least Webber would have his hands on the ball and make a decision for that. She'll just run to the corner and just act like she's not involved in the play or whatever. I'm like,
is she a good defender?
She's a passable defender, I would say. Like, I think people overrate her. People blow by her because she's not fast. So like.
Okay.
She has come back stronger for sure this year. Like if you see a picture of her from last year and this year, you'll be like, whoa, she's been lifting. What else? Trying to think of any other little factoids.
Didn't Malonga have a crazy game in the opening weekend?
No, not Malonga. I think Flaugier did.
Okay.
I think Flaugier had a pretty good game.
Okay. I saw some highlight of her knocking down a shot or something else, and then she like runs back like she's in a fucking anime with the arms out.
Yeah. She was like, I just did that shit. Chicago Sky are undefeated thus far, not making a particular fan base happy at all.
Sky are undefeated.
Sky are undefeated right now.
Not the worst team in the sport.
They are not.
Who do you think is gonna be the worst team?
Portland Fire. They're gonna go like 4-4.
Besides the expansion teams.
I was like 4-40. Like, the Sparks are bad, bro. And
really?
like, it don't like. I'm gonna tell
NECA
you why.
And Chelsea and Rakia. Oh, I forgot Rakia left. I forgot.
I'm gonna tell you why they're the worst. They're the Seattle of this year because of NECA. Like, NECA is not good. Like, and I know it sounds nuts. She's going to Hall of Fame. She's a great player and stuff like that. But like. When it comes to it and what you're like building to win, she's old and she's in the way. She's like it's like, all right, like she's somebody that you need to trade to a good team to get assets back from if you're the Sparks. But you're playing NECA and it's like she's NECA Gumake. You got to have a certain level of respect for her.
Is it Cam Brink coming off the bench now?
Yes. And like Cam hasn't exactly been super productive, but you give me the chance, I'm going to play the young player, especially that I drafted with the second pick. But they blew the young core already up by trading Rakia Jackson for Errol Atkins, who's just a bench player now. Kelsey Plum is a good stats, bad team person. And like she is content. No, she is content to be on a bad team. Now she gets to be number one, James.
I know.
Now she gets to be number one.
I know.
She gets to score all the points she wants, but they're gonna fucking lose because she is not a creator.
She's a terrible defender. She's always been a terrible defender.
She's not a creator of other people's shit or anything. She's gonna get her numbers for sure. Like it'll be there at any. Oh yeah, she averaged like 21 points or something, but like it ain't gonna like go. And like Hamby's good, but she's not amongst like the best bigs or whatever, right?
Can we talk? I mentioned this to you in JML. Can we talk about how they decided to put the Las Vegas Aces versus Erica Hamby's Los Angeles Sparks on Mother's Day?
Oh my God, that's funny.
They didn't. I was like,
I didn't realize that.
I said in the thing to y'all. And
I guess I missed that part.
Yeah, I'm like, bruh, that's insane. What's wrong with y'all? Who are the schedule makers? Who evil motherfuckers decide to do this?
So I was seeing a comment from Money Mark. Connecticut is worse. I'd rather the Connecticut situation. They're about to move to Houston and kind of reset the whole thing. They have a host of young players, and like the Sparks have no young players, and they keep trading assets. So like you're stuck with Kelsey Plum, Nneka Ogwumike, and De'Erica Hamby that you're building around when you should be building around Cam Brink and losing and getting more picks, like to line up for all this fucking talent that's coming into the league and not trading Rakia Jackson away. They are stuck with an old team. They're stuck with like a post 1996 Rockets style team right now. It's like, nah, bro. And they're not going to no Western Conference Finals or nothing. Like they're stuck. Yeah, they're stuck.
Where do you think? When does Juju come out?
She potentially could come out. She potentially could come out this year, but she's going to have another year of eligibility if she wants. I don't know if she's going to do it because like there's going to be a push, I think, for her to try to break Caitlin Clark's record for the all-time scoring thing. I don't know if it's going to happen just because of like the amount of games missed
in college, so she just should stay.
There is that, but people seem to think she might be coming out next year. I don't know if I would do that if I was her. What's the rush? The only thing is, like, Sarah Strong's coming right behind, and you kind of want to be the number one pick. Whatever draft Sarah Strong is in, she's going number one. But I don't know.
What's it called? Hidalgo.
She's senior next year. She'll be like the second pick if Juju comes out.
Okay.
Pretty sure. But yeah, like, it's been exciting. I've been watching as many games as I could, and just
you've been watching them instead of NBA playoff basketball. It's so fucking blasphemous to me. It's like, hey man, it's funny to me because, like, I'm watching it. I'm watching the opener, the Fever and the Wings game, and I'm like, obviously, I've been watching playoff NBA basketball, and now and now it's ported over to opening night or opening weekend of WNBA, and I'm like, where's the intensity? And I'm just like, James, you're an asshole. Because it's not the same.
I was gonna say, I thought it was intense shit. Like, they was coming out there with something to prove.
But it's bigger, stronger, faster athletes that are more desperate that are playing. And I'm watching Warriors. I'm watching Timberwolves and Spurs. And they're out here and this before they crack down on the physicality, and they out here playing 90s fouling basketball while still somehow scoring 55 points and a half, both teams. And then I go to Saturday and I'm watching this. I'm like, I'd be like, oh, for a second I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, never mind, James, you're an asshole. You're watching smaller, slower athletes play with less desperation because it's the first game of the whole season. You're an asshole, James. And then I had to see people complain about there's so many foul calls. I was like, they're trying to clean up the league to make it to where, like, there's not all this muck ball going on in W anymore. Like, y'all don't understand. And also the floor's more spread out than it has been before. Like, I don't get why people are complaining. They just want the old thing they've always had as opposed to, hey man, the WNBA is trying to modernize their basketball.
Yeah. So
if you want to watch old basketball, you can go to YouTube.
Yeah.
When I want to watch Charles Barkley or Michael Jordan, I go watch YouTube.
It's funny. Yeah, but talking about more WNBA stuff on my other YouTube channel, check it out, and following pretty much all the games. And I landed a sponsorship, James. I kind of talked about it off air, but I'm not going to disclose it. But they hitting your boy up out here. So, but yeah, man, what we got on the table? I think we got Backlash.
Yes, Backlash.
WWE Backlash. I watched this show, James. It wasn't a bad show or anything. I thought it was better than WrestleMania.
It was.
And I was like, I feel nothing.
Why would you?
We're
not watching week to week.
I've watched the TV, at least
true.
the Raws,
That's
and
true.
I checked in a little bit on SmackDown, but not too much on SmackDown. I've watched the Raws and seen the angles going into it. I did enjoy Roman Reigns Jacob Fatu. I don't know if I liked.
Why did their fans not like it?
I didn't know they didn't like it.
Not in general. This is, Twitter can, small sample size. That's how people not understand the story they were telling where Roman survived. He won, but he survived.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't get that.
Yeah, they drove it home further the next night on Raw where they had Jacob fuck him up again and put him through a table.
Fuck up the whole family.
Yeah, and fuck everybody up.
He's fucking up by hitting headbutts where we see they're not making fucking contact.
Imagine if he made contact, James.
Fuck. Bro, I have not been impressed at all with Jacob Fatu in WWE. But when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I'm tweeting this out. I don't give a fuck now. You know that the camera's right behind you. You know you're doing a protected headbutt. Just fucking headbutt your hand. Jesus fucking Christ.
Headbutt your hand. What the fuck?
That's the reason why you put your hand there.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as their match, I like their match. I thought Roman came to work and in a certain way, I know it would sound blasphemous, but I kind of like this better than Roman Reigns and CM Punk just because of the, physicality and athleticism that was on display. But
okay.
I would probably say for me it was the best match of the night. I would have look. I know they couldn't do it. I would have liked Jacob to win, but like they were clearly like, all right, we had to get through this, but we need Jacob standing tall at the end of this shit. So
you got to make Jacob look strong.
Yeah.
That's what my thought of it was. Like, you got to make Jacob look really strong. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking of what CM Punk said on that podcast. He's like, you know what, make him real strong if I fucking put him over.
Right. There's a lot of that. Like, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, so, because, you know, I kind of talked about it on ROPW where it was like, okay, they're sending him across Roman when he was a SmackDown guy all the way in the lead up to this. They did that thing with him and Cody in January where they had that brawl and that segment where they were sitting down, and they've essentially traded Jacob Fatu and Gunther and was like, yeah, Gunther, your ass is jettisoned away from Roman Reigns again. What's going on there, by the way? And they're going to do Gunther and Cody, but obviously that didn't happen on the pay-per-view. I don't know. I think the Jacob thing is... I'd be careful about beating him because I think he can get over and be a really big star. But, you know, we'll see.
I mean, he's going to be over regardless because he has the catchphrases that he says. And, you know, he pulled a string and he says the catchphrase, so it's already over. My thing is, like, how I feel like there's a kiddie pool level of depth in that character.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, and I could be wrong, but like from what I've seen of it, I'm like, I don't think this is gonna last long. If he's not tied to his relatives, but he's tied to his relatives right now, so yeah, we'll see.
We have Seth and Braun Breaker. The ratings came out.
When's the last time you heard of Solo Sikoa though?
Everybody around him was getting released.
Yeah, but like the actual charismatic relatives, they're still on TV.
Well, the actual relatives themselves, they got rid of them other niggas that ain't actually relatives.
That's true. But you get my point. Is like,
yeah,
he back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Hope you figure it out, brother. Jacob,
maybe
excuse me,
some trios titles.
Oh my God, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Apparently, James, this was on ESPN2, and it did under 1 million viewers. Did you know that, Jim?
No.
That came out today, and I was like, wow.
So Saturday. So that was between playoff games when that happened.
Yeah.
NBA playoff games.
That sounds kind of disappointing.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what the expectation is.
I don't know. So I have.
Yeah. I don't know what the expectation is, but like, you know, Seth, I don't know. He wrestled Braun Breaker, and there were some notable moments in this thing that kind of went viral.
Yeah, there were two separate botches, and then one botch had like there were 3 botches and 2 were back to back basically. But I thought outside of that, I thought it was a really great match, and like I thought quite frankly, like, hey man, Seth is out here with this guy that only has like 5 moves, and he was able to make this match really work with this guy that only has like 5 moves. And it's like, hey,
he just kept spearing them. It was so funny. Like
Spears and Frankensteiners. Like, what the fuck? Like it was almost like watching like a early Kamatani match where it's like, all right, man, enough of the fucking Hurricane Ranas. Yeah. But something tells me that Braun Breaker's not going to break out and be the Saya Kamatani of WWE. Something tells me that. But yeah, man, it's this is the match he got. If
you know what
Braun Breaker's going to be a star, he's going to have to wrestle Seth Rollins, and he's going to have to eventually wrestle the level of Seth if he's going to make it to the top of the card.
You know what this kind of card reminded me of? I don't know if you remember Fully Loaded 2000, where they had 3 different matches where basically they had new people in the promotion that they were trying to have work with the established people. Okay. So it was Triple H versus Jericho, The Rock versus Chris Benoit, and then Undertaker versus Kurt Angle. Okay. So on this show is Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Trick Williams. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Wait, when was a super awesome Angle and Undertaker match? That had to be later.
06.
Okay.
Trick Williams and Sami Zayn, and then this one right here, the Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. So, like, I was looking to see who was going to win the night amongst the young niggas, and I think Jacob won by a mile. But he was the only one that, quote unquote, didn't win the match or whatever.
I mean, I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
It's not like, look, I think that the Braun Breaker and Seth match is great, but it ain't great because of Braun Breaker. It's great because Seth basically idiot-proofed it for him.
Yeah.
You only know how to do 5 things, you only do 5 things, and then I'll work around it.
Yeah.
And while I work around it, I'm fucking up early in the match, but I'm able to get it together by the end of it.
I'm gonna fall down on my damn head a few times.
I'm telling you, if them botches had happened in the second half of that match than the first one, I'd kill this match.
Yeah, man. Tough.
Oh yeah, Trick. Good point. Trick versus look, man.
Trick versus Sami Zayn. That was a full Sami Zayn. You know, like you gonna run the Sami Zayn offense in this match. That's what that was.
Man,
wasn't bad for Trick. I thought it was, you know, obviously they went longer than they did at WrestleMania, which I felt like was a complete like WrestleMania 6 style match, like 5 minutes, get your ass out the ring.
Yeah.
This one was a little bit more, and I think they set the layout of the match, I think, helped it get over rather than the actual match. It was like, oh, okay, all this stuff is leading to one thing after another. And, you know, Trick is Trick. There's not that thing in the ring. Like
Trick is like obviously behind even Braun.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they've put this nigga in the ring with Dragunov before.
Yep.
They've had him with Sami Zayn staple for months. And
they flat out have chosen him over Carmelo Hayes since NXT.
Yeah. And like Sami Zayn's like probably like, you know, is as good as a pick right now to do something like, if you just look at the profile of wrestlers, Trick Williams is like, all right, you go in there with a Sami Zayn to try to like get to the next level. But this is the difference in not having house shows, because he would have been wrestling Sami Zayn for 2 months at this point, right? Night in, night out. He's not wrestling him night in and night out. He's doing segments. He's working with the fucking gingerbread man and all types of other shit, right?
Could you put La Nola Cola? Yes. Would you say that he's a one-trick pony? That's nasty.
Is Trick gonna end up in the LA Knight box? No, he's 10 years younger than him. And he doesn't fuck up nearly as much as LA Knight. LA Knight can like go viral off all these botches. Like that nigga fucks up shit like when he's by himself. Like no one around him. Like he'll fuck up walking up the top rope or something. Like I like LA Knight, but
same.
We gotta be honest here.
Yeah, same. He's trying so hard that he put too much pressure on himself, and it's causing the fuck ups. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other man? We talked about Trick and Sammy, Seth, and
Asuka and Io.
Asuka and Io. So in this whole thing that they set up, pretty good match. I think they obviously could have done a better one, but this was like about wrapping up Asuka's time in the company, seemingly.
That's what it looks like.
And they've set this whole thing up, and they did this angle on Raw where Asuka was like, I've been looking for somebody to replace me, essentially, and it's you. And, you know, symbolically, it is.
Symbolic? No. In a racial quota status or tier, whatever else, yeah, she is the top Joshi now, Io. The problem is, as far as the place and role that Asuka held in WWE for forever, no, Io doesn't wrestle like that. Asuka was the closest thing to an ass kicker in the women's division's ever had.
Yeah, I guess, like, you know
ain't nobody yelling Io's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
whatever.
It's different.
They're not.
They're doing something else.
No. They're saying it metatextually, not actual what's on the screen. It's like, yeah, you're replacing her as a top Joshi in this promotion, but like when Asuka's saying on the screen, it's supposed to be like you're taking, you've replaced me as holding fear and respect in other wrestlers' hearts in this women's division. Io don't really do that. Io's the inspiring, I can't do that, I can't move like that person. Whatever.
Io was basically Miss Elizabeth, like for the last few months. Seemingly, whenever she's standing next to Rhea Ripley, man, they got her standing up on Rhea Ripley's shoulder. I'm like, hey, bro, this is nasty. Yeah, that's true. Myron said,
they're trying to attract a different audience.
Yeah. Is it true that Asuka has 0 Mania wins?
That could be true.
That could be true.
She should have won 2018 at WrestleMania 34. She got fucked over.
I think we'll see Kana in Jacksonville. We will not. I don't believe so at all.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Danhausen.
I'll put it like this: if she wants a job, she'll get one. But
yeah,
I don't look. If she wanted a job, she could have a job that she has right now. Ain't nobody firing Asuka.
Yeah. And lots of people were there for her match backstage and heard a lot of things about people saying goodbye to her, and obviously Asuka was like really beloved. Like you think about somebody that came over and was Raw in NXT. Woman. Yeah, the real fifth horsewoman, not Alexa Bliss.
Wait, what?
There's an entire movement to cast her as the fifth horsewoman, James? Like, people be making these graphics and all this other shit. Like, look, you want to talk about a gag gift? Like, oh man, that would be an all-timer to show up to the FOH draft and then hand you a 5 horsewoman shirt with Alexa Bliss.
I'd leave. You know how furious I'd be. Oh my God.
5 horsewomen with Alexa right in the middle.
Oh my God.
That's the ones I be seeing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on out here, bro?
Make it nastier. Put her in the middle and then put her like right next to Mercedes.
Or you gotta put Mercedes like behind her, like like.
Oh, like a flying V situation.
Yeah,
that's nasty.
Like focus on Alexa, or you do like a larger Alexa and then the rest of them around her, kind of
like she's the big head. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like big head, big push. Like,
oh my God.
Oh man, that's nasty.
Get out of here.
That's super nasty. Who else?
Don't do that shit. don't do that shit, man. I'm telling you now. Do not.
I love it. But yeah, man. AEW. So what happened this week? They were
Darby Allin happened this week.
Yeah, they were in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, for Wednesday's show, yeah.
Yep. What'd you think of the show, James?
I like the Ospreay match. I like the main event. I like the segment with Death Riders and Ospreay. And then I kind of like and I like the opener with MJF and the 20 bald niggas. There's literally 20 bald niggas. It's literally 20. I counted. It's fucking hilarious.
Also, did you feel like a part of that segment, was there something that like you connected to in that?
With MJF? No.
Okay. I don't know, man. Why he don't want to be bald so bad?
He's a heel.
I don't know, man. Like the bald life don't seem that bad. Like
it's not unless you like somebody that's like really insecure about being bald.
Yeah, and we missed that.
But here's the thing: if you're willing to get on a plane ride and spend $1,000 to go to Turkey to get hair implants, you're insecure about being bald.
So we missed that last week. I don't know how it kind of just like missed it, but I think it actually kind of benefits us. We should probably just start there because I wanted to see if they played it for comedy, and they did. And
at the beginning,
yeah, the whole thing like with the title versus the hair now as they pull it out, and I was like, I thought it was underwhelming, and I was like, I don't really care about that. And the reason is,
especially when you know because of that stipulation what outcome's going to be.
There's that, and I think just historically in this country, we have not done a good job with this stipulation. This is not Japan. This is not Mexico. And in this promotion, as recently as a few months ago, this is played for jokes with Wheeler Yuta and different shit like that. To where, why do I what does MJF's hair mean to Darby as a wrestler and to really me as a fan? I like you said, I know people mention his hair from time to time, and obviously there's a thing there, but I feel like the better stipulation, and I actually asked someone about it, and that pretty much high up in the promotion, and I was like, what's the deal here? And I feel like, I told my thoughts, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see what you mean. And I was like, well, if MJF has fucked two seminal babyfaces out of their chances to ever be the AEW World Champion, did the angle with Cody Rhodes, did it to Hangman Page, just beat him in a match. He's taking this from them, right? Why wouldn't he basically, after being denied over and over again by Darby Allin, as Darby just stacks defense on top of defense, and in his desperation, knowing the pay-per-view is coming unofficially, that's where his brain would explode, and he's dropped the title in the fashion that he did, why would he not get desperate enough to be like, I'll put someone on the line and say I will never challenge again, and then people could actually believe it because it happened directly because of this guy. It's a linear story from him, and if he wins, he wasn't gonna lose his fucking hair anyway. So and if he wins, he was always gonna be the champion anyway. I think that would have been a much more effective tool, because it would have been Darby Allin, when he hears that, is like, oh, I actually want that. I want to erase you how you erased everybody else.
So I'm assuming the answer is we just did that stip 2 months ago. So if we do it again, what the fuck? Now, here's the thing. If you were to have waited till full gear and did Darby and this for that, and MJF has failed and can't get this fucking thing from him and can't get a title shot, and went into the Owen and lost and all this bad luck or whatever else, and he gets desperate, then it's earned. But it's literally just he lost the title, and then next pay-per-view he's getting his rematch.
People are calling this an Apuestas match and everything like that. No, that's in Mexico. They actually care about that shit.
Right. People actually get paid extra to give up their mask or give up their hair.
In Japan, we saw Tam and Julia. Do you think this is going to feel like Tam and Julia by the time it's done, James? Do you think this is going to feel like Minoru Suzuki and Hiroki Goto, where Suzuki fucking sits down and shaves his own head like a badass? That's not close to being on the table.
It's not going to feel like Toshi Yamada and Manami Toyota. It's not going to feel like Chigusa Nagai and Bull Nakano. Not Bull Nakano. Dump Matsumoto either time. It's not going to feel like it's not going to feel like Arisa Nakajima and Nanai Takahashi. No, it's not.
Because when you put your hair on the line, it's not just your hair; it's your pride being put on the line. MJF has no pride, so the character of MJF has no pride. So
I mean, there is a story there to his vanity, right? Because it's yeah, put your hair on the line because I know you flew to Turkey, and that's why they mentioned the line. It works to that extent, but it's the real thing is this. This match was not put in the main event last month to do Omega and MJF, because they realized that MJF and Darby wasn't a worthy main event draw. So they did a title match, and now they have to do the pay-per-view match, and they need a gimmick they felt they needed a gimmick to be strong enough to sell the pay-per-view. Gotta tell you, even with this gimmick, it ain't worked. Or it don't feel like it's worked. Even though I think Darby's had an all-time title run already, I still don't think that people are going to drop their hard-earned money to the extent that it was for the Omega match, because people already feel like this is a predetermined gimmick.
They do have the advantage of it being Double or Nothing rather than Dynasty, so I think you should account for that.
In a pay-per-view? Fair enough.
Yeah.
And then you see they're doing Batista, Bandito versus Swerve, and then Ospreay versus Joe.
Oh,
and then Stadium
they're bringing
Stampede.
Swerve back.
Also, all right, is Stadium Stampede main eventing?
I don't believe it is, but it could.
It's the Elite.
Those things. I mean, those things do main event. It main evented last year.
Yeah.
Or no, it didn't main event last year. No, it didn't.
The final though.
Ospreay and Hangman did.
Yeah.
But other ones, the Elite and the BCC one main evented. There was a couple other ones that main evented too.
Have you seen that men's bracket for that one?
I did. We should probably talk about that. So first round, we've got Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe. Yeah, we'll get to this. Yeah, for sure. Jack Perry versus Mark Davis. Below them on the left side, top right, you got Swerve versus Bandito, and then the bottom you have Claudio versus Brody King. I don't love this tournament because I'm fine with the Ospreay and Joe match, the Swerve Bandito match, the Jack Perry Mark Davis thing being just a direct rematch of what they did just now, to do it again to basically put Mark Davis to the second round for Will Ospreay. I hate when tournaments are essentially done through storylines that are like pre-existing storylines. I feel like a tournament should stand on its own.
Are we sure that Mark Davis isn't going to lose and get so Jack Perry gets his win back?
Yes, because I think Will Ospreay getting his win back is more important than Jack Perry getting his win back.
Good point. I forgot about that. I forgot about the Mark Davis. I forgot about that beating. Totally forgot about that. You're right.
I think the only thing that could really go either way is Claudio versus Brody King, and who knows the direction on that. I'm pretty sure Swerve's going to beat Bandito, so
right.
There's a
Swerve
little
beats Bandito, then you do the rematch of Brody versus Swerve, given how well that went in the pay per view. Was that the last pay per view, or was that 2 pay per views ago?
Revolution,
yeah.
Yep. And they've got I think this thing's Swerve versus Will in the finals. The finals are going to be at Forbidden Door.
It's fucking obvious.
Yeah. And
there's only 2 possible people that can main event Wembley in that out of those 8.
This entire tournament. Yeah. So it's like, I wish there was, so thoughts on why top guys like Mox and Omega are not being in the Owen. I think Kenny Omega has another destiny. As far as Mox, he's tied with Will right now, and either he can still be an obstacle for Will on the way to Wembley. There is another pay-per-view in July that I think people should start knowing about, if they haven't already picked up on that. I think Kenny Omega's destiny is not tied to being a challenger. You look at how Dynasty ended, you got kind of fucked, but we'll see how that works out. I don't think we're done with seeing Kenny Omega. Look, when you saw Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega in that office together the night after Dynasty, that's a flashing sign.
Yeah, but it's like, all right, when we gonna get to it? Because we haven't seen. I don't think we've seen Omega since then, in a match. And like next match is gonna have, it's gonna be fucking Anarchy in the Arena, Stadium Stampede, whatever the fuck they want to call it.
That whole thing is like, so the guys that are in it, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Like,
oh yeah.
Like you look at it, but I'm like, this don't like. It's like this just kind of appeared out of left field.
Rich, when that kind of the same thing we said with that Tanahashi double cage match shit.
Yes.
Where it's like, yeah, it's Darby, Ibushi, Omega, and Ospreay. It's gonna be awesome, but like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, this kind of just appeared out of thin air.
Oh, speaking of that picture of those that babyface 5 looks a lot more legendary now that Darby Allin's out here on Legendary Run. We instead of 4 legends and an up and coming legend, it's now 5 legends. Yeah. It's straight up just 5 legends now.
Yeah. Will was in that picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, it was Swerve. I'm sorry, it was not Swerve. It was Omega, Ibushi, Ospreay, Tanahashi, and M. Darby. That was the babyface team.
Damn, the legendary Will Ospreay. I like that because like when I watched that segment, with him in the backyard with Daniel Garcia calling him his young boy and shit. I don't know. It don't seem to quite hold up that way.
People ain't allowed to talk shit? People ain't allowed to lie no more? No?
He has to learn hoes from the heels now.
Holes that he already knows. That's the actual frustrating part. It's not that it's new shit. It's shit he already knows. We know he already knows. I've seen him wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. If he could do them holes, he couldn't get out of it, and he couldn't wrestle Zack Sabre Jr.
I asked this question on Twitter, and I got some pushback, and I got some people agreeing with me. And I'm fine with that because I'm taking an unpopular position, I realize, against two popular wrestlers that are beloved, right? I think Will Ospreay is being sabotaged. And, like, I don't want to tie him directly to the Wembley tickets because, like, how much is one thing going to swing Wembley at this point? You got to, like, kind of be fair to it. Like, there's not going to be just one thing you press a button and the way you execute something that's going to make this rush of tickets just go out the door, right?
August what? Is August 20? Is it late August?
Yes. As of this point,
we're 3 months away. Does it feel like the 3 months away from the biggest show of the year?
No.
They don't have anything in the fire. It don't seem like. I mean, we all assume. I'm sorry. We all presume that Ospreay's in there, but it's like we know who the champion is going to be. We don't like we don't even no. We don't know shit. We have Ospreay. Ospreay. He's not even like directly gunning for the title. He's doing this, trying to find himself thing because he has confidence issues because of his back or neck injury, and it's like okay.
I was very like I was just listening to Moxley just talk him down essentially. I don't know if that's fair to say. I don't know if he was talking him down. It was like he was just giving him the speech, right?
I like the speech though. It was like, hey, you are when you were I saw you in Best Super Juniors when you won, and you were out there and you felt like you could fly and you were free, and now you feel like you can't be free, and it's like, hey man, nothing's changed. Like it actually was a good it was a good speech. Like, hey man, you're still you. You just gotta be stop worrying about trying to protect stuff and try to go forward and attack as if you got something to gain because you're Will Ospreay. I liked it. It just I don't know. I like these things in a vacuum, but I don't know how. You know what would make it better? I still don't know where we're going with this story, and I would like for him to get to the point where we know where we're going with this story.
You know how this whole thing would work a lot better, James? If it wasn't Will Ospreay that he was talking to doing all this. Like, like if it was actually like a younger wrestler that was like on the verge of like actually needing real elevation and not like this living legend who's a Tokyo Dome main eventer, who's like a former IWGP champion, who is like has some of the best main events in the history of this company already, some of the best matches in the history of this company. Like, but it would work so much better with somebody like that. And then I'm wondering why he's following around Daniel Garcia, and he's taking 15 minutes to beat Ace Austin after they're supposedly making him a killer. And meanwhile, these Death Rider guys who have accomplished nothing, in kayfabe, like the rest of these guys that are around Mox. So, like, when he's going 15 minutes with Ace Austin, then randomly beats him with a flying arm bar, and then, like, sets up the match with all these
You ain't like him Azumi kicking his arm out of his arm?
It came so randomly, seemingly, after the nigga like fell down, did the Jay White. I'm a. That's what I thought.
Like, all right, that. I like, look, you need to say you need to keep it in your back pocket for Jay White when he come back.
Yeah, like he's opened up all this world of sports shit, and I don't know, man. It felt like the crowd was noticeably quieter during this match. I don't know if that's Ace Austin being in there with him. I don't know what happened.
It's Ace Austin,
but it was like
it's a collision. Why is this collision dude on my Dynamite?
But he's been getting burned on Dynamite lately. Like he fought Okada, he fought Moxley.
How did that go when he fought Okada? Him. Same thing.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just saw it and I was like, is
he's
this
a
like
gun clubber?
I was like, is this Kip Sabian versus Hangman Page all over again? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we're trying to heat
a lot better
up.
Than Kip Sabian.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, like, as far as like how the match is like being done and received and stuff like that, and I'm like. It just, for me, it feels like this will work better with somebody not Will Ospreay.
Not a person that has doubts, given that he's failed over and over and over in this company. Like, I think that's the thing that's getting lost in the story is like he's had shots at the title. He's failed over and over and over, and he's lost the Owen last year, and it's like, and he has his neck injury, and it's like the person that's building back up, the person that put him on the shelf, and like for me, it's like I get from your perspective being like he shouldn't have to, or he shouldn't.
And he don't care that they hurt him.
I mean, I think he's earned his trust in that way. Like this is the thing. I'm with you on certain parts of what you're. Okay. I get what your complaints are as far as like this is, you feel like it's suboptimal. Because I feel like suboptimal because I don't know where the fuck this is going necessarily. But for me, it's like I find what you're doing interesting, so I'm willing to give it a bit of doubt until it stops becoming interesting. Then I'll turn on just like you're already off of it.
Yeah, I just feel like it's especially at
they
the
made
same
a choice.
time,
you don't like the choice. I get it.
Right, he's in New Japan Pro Wrestling like Will Ospreay. He's always been,
but
and he came back. Like
I forgot about that part. But then again, they ain't. They don't care. They ain't even pretending that New Japan even exists.
But they do pretend New Japan exists in this very angle when they had the United Empire,
but not as far as what happened in the match is what I mean.
But I'm saying they brought the United Empire over to be with him.
I know.
And it's like,
but that was before when he went over. They showed up first, and then he went over after.
Yeah, man, it's like
I get you.
I'm just like, who talked him into doing this? Like, yeah, this is gonna be good for you. Like, this is gonna get you more over. I'm like, I always thought babyfaces hopping off the operating table after a neck injury, coming back, being fucking spectacular. That one seems like it has a really good hit rate. Like, I don't know, man. And look, people are like calling me a fucking idiot on Twitter for like even questioning this, James. So I'm like, it is people that,
I think it comes down to taste and patience. And I think like you just have no more patience for our Death Riders anymore. And I mean, I don't blame you. Yeah.
And it's like,
because they've been a roller coaster the last year and a half.
And like, if people say they like, it's weird because like they say they want these like kind of stories or don't want these kind of stories, but then like they see two people they like doing it, and it's like, what happened to us not wanting them kind of stories? So
you gotta explain what you mean by that. By what kind of stories?
As far as like these outside the ring, like long monologues, like this is the bruv line essentially and stuff like that. People have made fun of Roman Reigns for doing all this and these long layered relationship based things, and like they're coming to his aid. They're not letting Ospreay really talk for himself anymore at this point, and it's like him like basically looking at Ace Austin, who essentially this should be a laydown, and it's like it's not. And like I just saw you fuck Blake Christian up like 2 months ago or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just
Blake
like,
Christian's ROH though. He's lower in the kayfabe logic compared to Ace Austin, who's on Collision all the time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and it's just like,
I mean, I enjoyed the match, but
yeah, it's the spectacular Will Ospreay. I feel like is like a layup, and it's like, and ultimately, I think he's going to end up being that
eventually. Yeah,
when it's time to be, but it's like, is Moxley an obstacle before the championship or after the championship at this rate?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, and what the fuck does he actually want from Will? He wants to make somebody like, I think he's trying to do his Jumbo Tsuruta thing, to be like, we're trying to train the next generation of whoever guys to surpass us and stuff like that. That's cool. But it's like, pick somebody else. I seen your training methods. It ain't worked with Willer Yuta. It ain't worked with Daniel Garcia.
Well, it's because it's fucking Willer Yuta and Daniel Garcia. It's two guys that weren't going to make it to the main event of AEW. They never were going to do that. Even when Danielson was working them, he didn't get that done. Why was Marcus going to be able to get it done?
I don't know, man.
Like those two, and in fact, those two are now in the same faction. And like they should have been a tag team with rivals, and they were rivals in ROH. And then like they're just around. They getting checks, good for them. Yeah. Will he just make an ass of himself? He's a good Dominic Mysterio stand-in. As far as the guy that does the bump as the bump guy or whatever else, but it's like Garcia re-signed and immediately got demoted the second he signed.
That's incredible. Because, like, I remember, like, when he was just by himself, and it was like, you know, you can keep him by himself, but then they were
putting that man in main event after main event after main event. Remember that?
Yep, I remember that. But it was like, to the whole thing of the Moxley and Will thing. What's Moxley even doing at the pay-per-view? I don't even think he's going to be on the show unless, like, Kyle O'Reilly wants some smoke with him.
I don't fucking know. And, like, I mean, I don't even know because are the Trios house being defended? Because I saw a promo. What was the promo with the conglomeration on the show with Willow?
Yeah.
I forgot what it was about.
They basically said, Orange Cassidy doesn't know which two members are going to take the tag title shot. Kyle O'Reilly said he wants Cassidy and Roderick Strong. He asked Moxley, when are we doing this, essentially? So Kyle O'Reilly wants Moxley again. So that might be on the pay-per-view.
Okay. Cool. On 1 week notice. On 2 show notice.
But yeah.
He's been interacting with Ospreay for months. Kyle showed him at the last pay-per-view.
He did.
Like, bro, it feels like they're just throwing shit at the wall right now. And I gotta tell you, they better get their shit together for Wembley.
This company feels very unorganized. Like, and I don't know if you guys are seeing it.
It is really weird because this was not the case. Like, think of how awesome TV was from
like 3 months ago.
The beginning of the month until the beginning of the year, from the first episode of Dynamite until we got to Revolution. It was incredible television.
It's almost like there's a shadow booker and it's like going like left, like organizationally.
Maybe it could just be like, hey, I was able to get us to Revolution. I had no plans to get us to Double or Nothing.
Yeah. And all these people being off television has not helped.
You don't think it's good to have no Swerve, no Hangman, and no Omega on TV for weeks on end?
I don't believe so.
You don't think it's good to have Kazuchika Okada scheduled for a title match, and all of a sudden he gets replaced?
James, we should probably talk about that. Look, I know this. I heard the story is allegedly legit. I have not asked about it. I will ask about it. Right. Now I'm going to be reckless and speculate, like, because, they said it was family business. He had to head back to Japan. I'll take his word for it because Okada has not, had to go back to Japan much, for anything really, right?
Like to miss a show, you mean, yeah.
To miss a show, yeah. So he was scheduled to face Darby Allin, and Darby Allin throughout this reign has kind of collected a bunch of people that he didn't get to face in the C2, sneakily, right? So they announced the Okada match. Okada does the angle last week. And then all of a sudden they switched it to Takeshita. And I'm like, I saw people in the Discord, they were like, I think it was Daniel who was on the show last year. It's like, y'all want me to put over a junior? Like,
now keep in mind,
right.
Now keep in mind, Okada loves wrestling junior, so that's bullshit.
I'm sure he likes wrestling him. Do he like losing to him? like, where's the proof of that?
Oh, I mean, it could easily just have, Takeshita comes out there or whatever else is nonsense with like one Ospreay. Look, I can tell you what the finish for that's going to be right now, right? There's going to have your boy on commentary, Callis. Callis is going to try to get the screwdriver for Darby. Takeshita will come out there and stop the screwdriver transfer, and then Darby rolls that man up and gets out of there. I can tell you that's the finish right there.
Yeah.
They was gonna have Darby hit that man with a
hit that man. He was gonna give him the call. He wasn't gonna pick him up over his head and slam him.
They was not finna have Darby Allin beat that man with a coffin drop. That was not finna happen. Get the fuck out of here. You know that. He ain't paying him that much money for that shit.
Yo,
here's my question, right?
I just saw that. I was like, it don't pass the smell test. Like, I ain't doing no fucking job.
I gotta
look, and I'm a champion. I got a pay-per-view match the following week. Right. Why the fuck would I do that?
Rich, is Okada making double or triple or 4 times what what Darby Allin's making.
Look, I don't know when Darby's deal was up or anything like that, but I would imagine Kazuchika Okada coming over was a $3 million a year guy walking in the door.
That's okay. Then there you go.
So, yeah, and on those limited dates. So,
right.
Barry Bloom don't miss. So. Right. Yeah, but as far as Darby and
just wait till Okada ends up in the Dome main event. Just wait, another one.
Another one.
Yes.
Another one.
Yes, look, let that man get that V4 off of Suji.
Let's just have him, or he can just go beat Callum Newman. Y'all want it off him anyway.
No, Suji had to get that back.
Okada's
like,
King
look,
of Pro Wrestling.
Okada's like, I make the calls. Look, I say who goes in the main event against me in the Dome. It will not be Callum Newman. It'll be Yota Tsuji. Tell him to come forth and lay down for the Rainmaker.
Yeah. So like, I'm just saying, it don't pass the smell test. So Takeshi goes out there with Darby. Historic, great pairing here. I don't think this is the match that they had a few years ago, which I felt like was just like new levels of crazy.
Yeah.
But this
Remember when they went back-to-back match, they tried to speed run Feud of the Year?
Yes. They did some wild shit in this one too, though. Like that Blue Thunder Bomb to the fucking
super German superplex. That's fucking insane.
Superplex, the fucking Blue Thunder Bomb to the outside of the ring. Like, look, man, this nigga Darby Allin is trying to die. Like this is the Darby Allin Invitational G1. Like this is what this whole shit has been. It's like who wants to step up to Darby Allin and take your best shot essentially.
Hey man, you see that comment in there?
This one?
No.
This one?
Yes. Block him. Get him out of here. Okada versus Jake Lee in the Dome. LOL. I got an LOL.
Who said that? Okada versus. Whoa.
That is.
Okada.
That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting.
Shit.
When is Jake Lee going to NXT?
I don't know, man. Yeah, Evil debuted this week. I didn't see his debut. Oh, excuse me, Naraku debuted. I didn't see his debut.
And then he said Naraku is evil.
Hilarious.
I know.
All time, like, bro, I think Evil has the potential to be an all-time comedy wrestler, unintentional comedy wrestler in WWE. If they just allow that man to like speak like bits of English to where, and he just like leans into like him being evil, like.
I mean, they already look. They don't let him come out there with the big long robe. They don't let him come out there with the whole scythe and all that kind of stuff. So he already is toned down.
Yeah. What else do we have going on?
Do you remember when Milano Collection AT used to pray when that man came out?
Yes.
You might be onto something about Evil being unintentional comedic genius. You might be onto something.
Yeah.
Because that man turned on Milano Collection AT. That shit had me dying. And I felt bad laughing at it too.
So the women's Owen, very inspired.
Far more competitive.
I was like, hold on. What are we doing here? So we got Alex Windsor against Will Nightingale at Double or Nothing. That's going to be great.
Yeah. There's a Persephone versus Hazuki match in the top left.
Yes. Yep. The winner of that is going to face a Persephone Hazuki. That's just hook that to the veins.
Now, given that Persephone and Willow have made eyes with each other backstage, I'm assuming that's obviously Hazuki's is going to lose, and then you get Persephone versus Willow. That's going to be a fun match. The other side, unfortunately, Sky Blue's in it, but it's Sky Blue versus Sari. And then you potentially have in the second round Sari versus Athena.
Yep. Yeah. Hook it up.
That's real pro wrestling. God damn it.
Or Sky Blue, scores the upset and sends the Sun God home, real quick. Just
let me tell you
take
something.
It back to Nihon.
Let me tell you something right now, Tony Khan. Don't you even think about that? No bullshit like that. Terrible.
Yeah, but I saw the tournament. I was like, man, that's interesting. Like Hazuki is like longtime favorite of this show.
Yeah,
and haven't seen her in a while.
Who is Athena facing in the opening round?
Mina.
That's right.
So,
yeah, man. That's a quality tournament.
Could I have gone for Megan Bain in there? Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an 8-person tournament, and you got 7 really good wrestlers.
Right. Mercedes, not in this thing. So
yeah.
Look, I take it as like people not in this thing, like they're threats to like be the champion or something. So I'm not really sweating it, but it has been a while since we've seen Mercedes.
Yeah, it's true. Have we seen her this year? I don't think so.
No.
When's the last time you think we've seen her in AEW?
New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay.
When she
lost to Willow.
Match.
That's right.
Yep. What else we have? Andrade's in that match. Yeah, Darby and Takeshita was great. Darby obviously went over.
What do you give that match star rating?
I'd probably say 4.5.
Yeah, they're probably right.
I think MJF signs a contract with Darby, attacks him, they get into it. Thought he cut a pretty good promo, and Darby kind of like mentioned it back and was like, look, man, you say it's all about legacy, that's because you're vain. I'm gonna take your hair essentially, and they got into it. MJF was gonna give him that tombstone and all that, but Kevin Knight ran out and broke it up. Kevin defended the belt in an open challenge. He beat the returning Brian Cage, who looked big as ever.
Yeah.
Speedball defeated somebody named Westbrook. I was like, huh? There's only one Westbrook that I know, maybe 2. Brian Westbrook and Russell. This was just Westbrook. I'm like, all right. And Kevin Knight or Speedball keeps kind of like in Kevin Knight. It's like it feels like they're on a collision course. Yeah. For the TNT belt somehow.
Do you that match has to happen? Do you think it happens at Wembley? Or do you think it's not big enough to be at Wembley?
I think it's big enough to be at Wembley. Like, especially as much as these guys are pushed on TV, like this would be like the perfect opener for Wembley. Like,
right, but they're pushed on TV because the biggest stars on the fucking shows right now.
That's true.
They're gonna,
we have seen much greater
way
wrestling.
For Kenny Omega, make way for Adam Page, make way for Swerve Strickland.
I was gonna say we have seen much bigger wrestlers be saddled with non-singles matches at an All-In or a Wembley Stadium, but I got a feeling there may be some openings on All-In this year.
Make way for Chris Jericho. Make way for Adam Copeland and Christian Cage.
Yeah, the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh shit.
Get ready. I could have went for Jamie Hayter maybe being in the tournament, or even Tommaso Ciampa being in the Owen. That would have been like give me a Ciampa versus like Brody King or something like that. Like run that up. Ciampa versus Jack Perry. You could have did that. Mark Davis has a belt already, awesome. So I don't know.
Ciampa versus Jack Perry would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's like a couple people, like there was a lot of arguments about maybe they should have expanded the field this year. I think I could have went for that on the men's side because like it's either that or book a. So like I don't think a tournament necessarily. I think a tournament can create stories rather than have these stories going into it. It's like, all right, we're anticipating a Swerve and Bandito match, right? But it didn't necessarily need like either the build or anything. You could have just threw that up on the graphic and been like, the story's the tournament. So like. I don't know. That was weird the way. And then the Joe and Will thing has been playing out for weeks, and it gives meaning to that, like no doubt. But I don't know. Like I said, I think the tournament itself functions as a story. But yeah, man. this whole thing was swerved this week on social media. And now, like, it looks like it's an angle for what may, play into his stuff with Bandito, because that's what, he mentioned. He's too dangerous to be on television, and they don't know. I think this is, like, substandard. I think this is very interesting as far as, like, okay, let's say your problem with AEW was that you wanted power and stuff like that. You're in the Owen tournament now. Like, why was Bandito the random target? It's just that the Bandito part comes so far to left field. It's like, huh. And then there was, like, tweet and delete situations that had,
it feels like one hand doesn't know what the other's doing.
It feels like stuff is happening in real time.
Think of how cool that vignette would have been if they flashed it on the graphic, and then, like, later in the day, or like the next week, they show that graphic, or they show that vignette of him going through through that western town and laying waste and doing that same thing. It would have been more impactful.
Yeah, if you put everything in a different order, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And maybe it was a situation where it's like just need to get this face on TV because people will start asking questions like, what's going on? Because, like, at a certain point we'll be like, hey man, where the fuck is Adam Page?
There's that, and then, like, Swerve's stuck in pre-tape hell. Like, and if you want to, like, take it from a real life perspective, it's pre-tape hell, and it's like he is turned heel. And it's been 3 months since he was working with Kenny Omega the first time. And then they did the second match March 25th, I believe. And it is now May 15th. We've gone through several weeks of television.
He had the match with Brody King.
An entire pay-per-view.
Yep.
And that match was in March.
Yep.
He missed a whole pay-per-view. What is going on to keep him off television? Because that tweet didn't appear just for no reason. And you can always turn something into something, that's what it looks like. I've talked about it on RLPW. It feels like there's something going on. And I don't exactly know what it is. I don't ask everything. I sometimes, talk to people. But it's strange. It's very strange. Like, and for that to come out and that be the tweet that, like, was, like, sent, and then as well as the it was like the exact same verbiage that I use, almost like we should ask questions about why this is not happening. Then the post from Doc that I had, and I shared, just like someone was asking me these questions, right? There were people that thought I was involved in an angle. I, Richard Latta, am not involved in an angle. Like, I am not, being compensated for my participation in an angle. Like, no, I am not part of this. So, like, I shared that question, and it was sent out, and then, like, people were connecting me to it, and my hands are clean on this. I don't know what's going on. So, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things going on here, and I don't know how much I can continue to really say these things without starting to point my finger in certain directions of, like, all right, I've X'd this, and this out. What the fuck is the reason for the absence? And perhaps one day we'll be able to talk about it openly.
Perhaps. All right. Well, you got anything on Kenny Omega?
Kenny Omega, shit. I'm sure he been, at home working out, playing Street Fighter, Dance Dance Revolution. Shit. What else could he been doing? Playing with his cat Dobby. Watching movies, hanging with Ibushi, checking the progress on his training, What else is Kenny Omega do in his free time? Probably. I think that's it. The video games. Did I say that? FaceTime with Ibushi. Matt and Nick call him to bully him and fuck with him and tell him we need you on the pay-per-view. Can you? I'm not doing this match if you're not doing it. So, I'm sure we'll see Kenny when we see him. Look, maybe him and Swerve are hanging out together, on their time together off television. Maybe they can relate, to whatever's going on. I don't know. Have we considered that, James? Maybe they piece it up. Maybe they realize they have something in common. Me, like. So, I don't know.
Do it for Rich. Wow.
If it was up to me, we wouldn't have had no match in Sacramento. We would all just kicked it. Y'all wouldn't have saw no match. But yeah, at home watching Best of Super Juniors.
I mean, you see how Kenny Omega act when he in Japan. It's different. So, well, yeah. Has you got anything else to cover?
I think that's it. Drop hot takes this morning on the channel, episode 9. Check it out, y'all.
Yeah, y'all check it out.
What else we have? I think that's it. Iceman just came out, I think.
Oh, yes. Yes, it came out 6 minutes ago.
He dropped 3 albums?
What?
What is wrong with him? 43. What is he doing?
Remember that was it 100 gigs? Flood the market. He trying to.
This is insanity. He dropped 3 albums. One was called obviously Iceman. Then there's Maid of Honor, and then Habibti is called. I don't know. And he has a song called WNBA. I don't like this already.
Rich, can you look at the last comment in the chat? Yo, Rich and James, Drake put out a song called BBW on his new album. Hey, Rich, we got to get off this show. I need to hear that right now. I need to hear that right now. Either that's going to be awful or awesome. There's no in between on that one.
That's incredible. I'm looking for it's on the second one. It's on the Maid of Honor one.
It is time. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening to the show. This is One Nation Radio. If you are watching from the stream and you want to donate to us, you can go to the podcast when the show is up. In the show notes, you will see a Rare Circle link. You can go there and donate there. If you're, you can listen to other shows on the network as well. You have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Imps Adventures, Wrestling Art with Chris Things, Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Slayer Wrestling Podcast, AEW Match Guide, and Joshi'ing Around. Thanks for listening, y'all. BBW.